Whoa, woo. Okay, so if this doesn't wake you up, nothing will. Hey everyone, it's Dr. Kellyann, and welcome to another episode of Digging In with Dr. Kellyann. And how you feeling? If you're feeling a little tired, well then this episode is for you because we are digging in to energy elixirs. So energy elixirs are different for everyone, or may have a different meaning for everyone, because for some people, they get their energy from their morning cup of coffee or their morning tea. Other people get their energy from an energy shot or an energy drink that they buy in the store. And there's other people who say, you know what, I am going to really focus on long-term natural energy, and they drink things or take things that make them feel energy from a cellular level. They pull from their cells and get as much energy as they can as naturally as possible. So the first thing that everyone's probably thinking is, it's got to be caffeine. Caffeine is what I need to give me energy. So caffeine is in a lot of things that give us energy, but there's also things that don't have caffeine that give us energy too. And in fact, a lot of the caffeinated drinks that we have outside of like coffees and teas, you have to really be careful and read those labels because there's a lot of other things that come along with the caffeine that may not be too good for you. So coffee's been around forever. I mean, it's been around since the 15th century. And it's actually a funny story how coffee was even found. It was an Ethiopian farmer who actually noticed that his goats, after eating coffee beans, would become, let's say, frisky. And so that's how actually coffee got on the map. So if you love coffee, thank a goat, because that's actually how it happened. And then tea's been around since the 3rd century BC in China. And I love teas. They're one of my favorites because teas, not only can you serve them hot or you can serve them cold, but they're also being enhanced with a lot of different supplements and a lot of different herbs that are really healthy. We call them adaptogens. These adaptogens, which are really helpful for stress. And so I love drinking teas. And another oldie but goodie is hot chocolate. People can enjoy hot chocolate, and as long as you watch the sugar count and maybe supplement it with monk fruit, and even better yet, make it yourself to reduce the sugar. If you use a healthier chocolate and you watch the sugar count, there's something called caffeine plus theobromide. And this is a chemical that actually helps stimulate you in the most natural way. So hot chocolate's another good one. So coffees, teas, hot chocolate, these are all more natural ways to get that little burst of energy. People are always asking, what's the hottest thing out there for energy? Well, right now, everyone's talking about kombucha. And kombucha is really interesting. It's a very effervescent drink. It's kind of fizzy and it's got a little bit of a sour taste. But I love it. And one of the things that it does, it's got a colony of bacteria and yeast in there. And that bacteria and yeast are actually good for your gut microbes. One of the reasons why we're tired a lot, and so many of us are dragging around, is simply because your body has many cries for water. There's actually a book entitled that. Your body cries out for water all the time. Dehydration. Dehydration, I would say, is one of the number one reasons why we're all dragging around, because what happens is energy has to do with your cells. It's called mitochondrial health. And your cells, when they're healthy, this is what happens. Your cells are flowing like a river. When your cells are dehydrated, they actually clump up and it's like a swamp. So you want your cells flowing like a river and not all clumped up like a swamp. And that, my friends, is the key to having natural energy. And it's something I always pay attention to. So how can you hydrate your body? One of the best things that you can do is actually give your body lemon water. It's really terrific because you get a hit of vitamin C in the water. Vitamin C, of course, is good for so many things. Another way is broths. I love broths, and I profess a lot about bone broth, and there are reasons, because the glycine in there is actually very helpful for energy. And not only that, but it helps you get restorative sleep, so you wake up more well-rested. So all in all, it does help you feel much more energy, which is one of the reasons why I love it. And there's other things also. There's green drinks. Green drinks, I know they've been around forever. It's like, I know, Dr. Kellyann, green drinks are good for me, but they really are, and here's why they're good for energy. Because you have to think about your body like your body has all these kind of, let's see, levers. Your body has all these levers. And when these levers are pulled down because they don't have the energy, they don't have the minerals, the essential vitamins and minerals, you want to pull those levers up and get all of those slots, all those levers lifted up. And when a lot of those levers are pulled down, your body's what we call deficient, nutrient deficient. And what you want is nutrient sufficiency. Okay, really pay attention to how your body feels. Start cueing in, because a lot of us, we go through life and burnout happens and fatigue happens because we become very numb to everything around us. Why? Because we're so tired, because so much is expected of us. So many of us have so many expectations that we feel are put on us and we put on ourselves. But the end result is we go from thing to thing to thing very robotically, and we feel really burnt out. And that's why I think a really good formulation is, if you need some things with caffeine, do it. There are healthy ways to get caffeine. Go ahead, have your bulletproof coffee. Have your coffee. Make it healthy, as healthy as possible. Enjoy teas. Matcha is my all-time favorite. I love matcha. You know, matcha, by the way, let me just tell you how amazing this energy drink is, because matcha is like green tea on steroids. So we know green tea has so many benefits. It's been reported that it helps you burn fat. It's been reported that it really is very helpful for energy. There's something in them called phytochemicals, and these phytochemicals are so condensed and concentrated that it releases a lot in your body once you drink this matcha, and which is why I love it so much. So again, a lot of teas, black teas and regular green teas, jasmine teas, all really good ways to enhance this natural energy. And again, that's what you really want. So a little bit of caffeine, if you need to get caffeine, just monitor that caffeine and watch the sugar that you have in a lot of the grab and go caffeine drinks. So that's what I want everyone to be aware of, is these grab and go caffeine drinks. Keep your eye on them, because a lot of times they have other things in them that your body doesn't want. And by the way, over caffeinating, people are actually hospitalized every year, and pretty big numbers. They're hospitalized because they've drank too much, and they have things like, terrible headaches. They get tachycardia, which is rapid heartbeat, and all these other symptoms that are related to over caffeinating. So we got to keep an eye on this. So over caffeinating is not the solution, and that's what I'm trying to express. So many of us are tired. So many of us are looking for ways out of this paradigm of fatigue. And so remember, first thing you want to look at is, am I getting quality sleep? The next thing you want to look at is, am I dehydrated? Remember, what I want you to think of, it's always good to get this mind's eye picture in your brain of what's going on. Are my cells stuck together? Or are they flowing? Are they flowing like a river? Or are they stuck together like a swamp? So address that. Ways I love to address it again. Think about broths. Think about lemon water. Think about things like green drinks. Think about things that really get those cells flowing and to get that natural energy moving in the right direction. Okay, so here are two of the ways that you can get natural energy, and they're kombucha. Kombucha you can buy anywhere. And what's interesting is that both of these kombuchas, they have, oh, by the way, if you want to sound really cool to your friends, call booch. That's like the trending thing to say, booch. Got your booch? So they have cayenne in them. And I love cayenne because cayenne does a lot for your body. Not only does it help you burn fat, but it keeps your blood vessels, keeps everything nice and dilated, so it's good. So I'm going to try some. And what I love is that these kombucha drinks, I said they have like an effervescence to them. They have kind of like a tangy, almost sour. Did you hear that? Did you hear that? So it's got like a sour kind of smell to it when you open it up. And remember, now here's what I want you to know about kombucha. This is really important. A lot of the reasons why people love kombucha, number one, it's gut health. And whenever you have gut health and you have that in order, you're always going to have energy. You can't have one without the other. When your gut is healed and sealed, you will naturally have health. But here's what you need to know about kombucha. There is no scientific evidence whatsoever. So I'm telling you, this has started a whole big trend, almost a kombucha revolution, but there is no evidence. But people are drinking it, and it's kind of sticking because people are loving how it makes them feel. So let's take a sip. Whoa, woo. Okay, so if this doesn't wake you up, nothing will. Because you've got that tanginess and then you've got the bite of the cayenne, and you have to have a taste for this. I love it. It makes me feel good. I definitely notice that my energy kind of lifts up after I drink it. And you can actually have these hot too. There's hot kombucha, like kombucha teas. It depends on the way that you like to drink it. And some people use kombucha, as I call it, the magic eraser. So I went to a party and everyone was having cocktails with kombucha as the mixer in the cocktails. And these were all health people. And the thought was, well, if we're going to have a cocktail, let's make sure it doesn't ruin our gut health. So that's one of the ways that kombucha is enjoyed, but it has a great taste. I talk about turmeric a lot. In fact, I put it in a lot of the things that I make. And why I like turmeric so much is a lot of us come in with, I call, a flame in our body. So when you have a flame going on in your body, which is a natural process that when you injure yourself, you get a sore throat, you break your elbow, natural inflammation comes into your body to heal it. It's when that fire keeps burning in your body and you can't shut it down that you become very fatigued. It's one of the big reasons why people are fatigued, right up there with hydration. So why I like things like turmeric is because they really bring that flame down. And we do a lot with energy shots. This is a different kind of energy shot. This is a natural energy shot. It's to get that flame out of your body, and it also just livens you up. So here goes, okay? Bottoms up. I have to tell you, this is absolutely delicious. And if this is going to help me get energy every day, I'm all in. It's really good. Again, a natural way to give your body energy, get those cells working right, and get that flame out of your body. You have so many options for these healthy wellness shots as they are. You can get ginger, you can get turmeric, you can get elderberry, and the list just goes on and on and on depending on what you want. And one of the big trends is if you're starting to feel a cold come on, people go in and they'll take a ginger shot, or they'll take a shot of something to help get that immune system, start to get it fired up. And again, great source of energy too, natural energy. So matcha, which is my all-time favorite, of course I talk about it a lot. You can actually not only buy matcha at your favorite coffee place, but you can also make it at home pretty easily. There are a lot of kits that you can buy, matcha kits, that where you can make this pretty easily and deliciously. And what I love about it, it's loaded, it's concentrated with all those antioxidants, that fat-burning, healthy stuff that I just love. So this is a great way to get energy, and this definitely is one of my favorites. And it's a different kind of caffeinated feeling. So when you have too much coffee, you start feeling like kind of almost sweaty, your heart's beating, and you get those your heart's kind of palpating, and it's not an awesome feeling. And the difference between matcha is that it gives you a very steady feel, a very steady kind of energy, and I love that. So if I want to boost in the afternoon, and I don't want something as strong as matcha, don't want something sweet like hot chocolate, I just want something simple and something to give me a little bit of boost. My favorite go-to is jasmine tea. Why? It's so effervescent. Even the smell alone kind of perks me up, and it's just enough caffeine. It's lighter on the caffeine side, but just enough to make my body feel good. So love my jasmine tea. This is the segment that I like to call You Ask and I Answer. Coffee, there is evidence that it does help brain function. There is evidence out there that there are benefits to clean coffee. Now, Diet Coke does nothing for your health. I want you to think about if you get sick and you take a medication just to get you out of the crisis, fine, but that medication was never meant to heal you. I want you to think about the same way Coke. Coke is like, I'm going to drink this because in the moment it's going to give me a hit of caffeine, but it was never meant to do anything good for me because it doesn't. In fact, it does quite the opposite. So there's been a lot of health issues that I've heard from patients over the years that have been related to consumption of a lot of this Diet Coke. So time to switch it up, folks. Time to switch it up. So if you're saying, okay, you're telling me to just watch my caffeine, but I love to drink coffee all day long. Here's what I would recommend. Again, keep an eye on that hydration, but try matcha. I love matcha. It really does do the trick. And the thing is, I always love anything that I enjoy that gives me results but has these benefits to them, these added benefits. So if you want to just pick something up and go, you don't want to say, Dr. Kellyann, I cannot do a blender and a whole countertop full of fruits and vegetables. I ain't doing it. I understand. Here's your way around it. When you go to the grocery store and you're looking for greens, check the sugar on the label. A lot of these have 25, 35 grams of sugar. You want something much, much lower than that. So what you can do is when you're checking the ingredients, make sure that fruit is not the entire ingredients. Make sure that there's a lot of vegetables in there as well and that sugar content is low. That's your best way of finding a green drink that will give you energy and not short-term energy. So energy elixirs, do I dig them or ditch them? Here's what I say. I dig any energy elixir which gives you sustained, long-term, healthy energy. Totally dig that. We named so many. And here's what I'm going to ditch. I'm going to ditch being completely reliant on heavily caffeinated beverages and go to grab and go type of caffeine fixes that really likely has too much sugar and too much caffeine. And over time, it's only going to exhaust you more because it doesn't help you move towards health. It's actually moving you away. So I give it a complete dig it for getting natural mitochondrial driven health back into your body. This has been Digging In with Dr. Kellyann. Bye.